Hey guys, it's me at 10 p.m. I shouldn't be making too much noise. I'm gonna try to keep quiet just for some obvious reasons. You're probably thinking, oh, you're back to outside and doing stuff again. Because I actually have something to talk about today. I wanted to do this on a weekend and also on a stream, but certain things happened and I now know certain things about a certain game. I pretty much, from the last time we talked, I played through all of Final Fantasy 15. I'm going to probably go back and do the side quests if there's a New Game Plus mode. If not, I have a long thing to do on New Game Plus mode. I really hope it's a New Game Plus mode, because if not, I'm gonna be neglecting, or not even neglecting, I'm gonna probably stay away from that game for a solid month, because I put 40 hours in. Honestly, a lot shorter than what I was originally thinking for Final Fantasy 15, because how much they were trying to promote it. And to be fair, I liked the promotion that I got and everything else it did. But the only reason I'm going to do this is because with this, you guys could obviously say this is a review. So yep, I beat Final Fantasy 15. I stopped originally from talking to you guys because I did an update, I think, right before a certain event. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the description. This is going to be super spoiler happy if people haven't finished the game yet or know about the ending. Because I'm going to give a full-on review about my opinions. So, from the last time I talked to you guys, I was, I think, getting into the Leviathan Covenant arc part, if people remember where that is in the trailer, because that's like the second minute of the trailer. So basically, oh god, I have so much to explain right now. You start off the game really, really weak, and I'm not gonna lie, I played on normal the entire way through. It was really fun. But the only thing that was happening was, super strong monsters, and it gets really hard around the underwater dungeon for people who might know about that Mithril dungeon. Yes, it's Mithril. So basically what happened was I beat it, and, I'm not too happy about the ending, honestly. And it's not because of super spoiler, Noctis dies. I'm not really too upset about that one, really. Because you see it coming from a mile away. But I'm more or less upset because how the story took a turn. And it definitely hit me around the Leviathan arc. Leviathan. I'm not saying arc, that's like... let's talk about... I guess stories do have arcs. The Leviathan arc. Mostly because, Leviathan. I love Leviathan, as in, every summon and every video game I've played with Leviathan. And you know what? She's a pretty tempting, rageful beast. But, I still liked her, and I just the things that happen in that scene. Basically, blah blah blah, Lunafreya activates the Covenant, or activates Leviathan's calling. Leviathan comes up, she's like, oh, Leviathan, don't, kill me, because I'm here to, guide you to the king, which is Noctis, obviously. But, let's just say certain things happen, spoiler character comes in and kills her. Now, this is where I got a little pissed off, because it's just like, okay, cool. I expected some death, but not, Luna. I was expecting, Gladios or someone, because that could swap for someone else in the story. I forget her name. It's Octeria? Wow, that's not even her name remotely close. I was kind of, disappointed, because it's just yes, you do find out throughout the story she was, cursed with the blood and the thing, the trials of Set Blood, and how they only live for, I think mid-adulthood. I don't remember how that works. But basically the story tells you, right off the bat, it's oh, blah, 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 reclaim the throne. You expect this. But, yeah, Lunafreya dies. After killing Leviathan, you're shoved into a state where, hey, Ignis lost his eyesight, so he's blind. And, everyone else is kind of injured from the fight. And then Gladios, I don't hate the character. I truly do not hate the character. But how they wrote for the guy, for that one particular scene on the train, if people know what I'm referring to, the fact that he was willing to beat the shit out of Noctis was kind of dude, what the hell? I know he's meant to be stubborn, I'm ready to go forward and I don't care who's holding me back. But at the end of the day, does he know, like, what happens if he lost his sister Iris? Like, I'm pretty sure you would be traumatized. And also, bedridden for a god amount of time. And I just, he was the understanding character for, like, the Titan part of it. Like, the maybe, like, end of the first part of it. He was super understanding. And then he's just like, yo, we're gonna go out and kill stuff. Like, don't hold us back. It's like, no. Look, Noctis has, like, gone through emotional depression because of his dad and whatnot. And then, yes, his dad dies. Spoiler. But, yeah, like, I got really upset because it's just like, no, trauma like that, you kind of have to give it at least a small amount of time to let someone grieve over the death. And, someone who's never suffered a major part of his family dying, or someone that he cared for dying, I can't speak of experience, but just mentally I kind of know it's like, yeah, don't push it. Basically, blah, 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 stuff happens. You go on a train, you find out the spoiler character's immortal, and it's like, oh, great. I really don't know what to say about that, honestly. The story in general is just, bleh. I liked it, though. It was a lot better than Worlds, and I said this, I think, before, and I was more excited for World than 15. I was more excited for 15 as they showed more and more trailers for it, and I'm really excited for what they're going to come out with DLC. But I don't know how to feel about it, because it's just like, the DLC sounds amazing. I think I know what they're going to go do with it, but the main game itself feels so small in comparison to what they could do with DLC. So I don't know what they're going to handle with DLC. And I guess more or less I'm disappointed because a certain person in my family who was playing the game with me spoiled a certain thing for me. And I'm just a little bitter about that, if anything. I'm not bitter. It's just my nephew basically spoiled that entire game for me. Because, I wanted to play that game freshly blind. I didn't want to know what the crap to expect. And is it worth the $60 that you're going to pay for it originally? Yes, I don't doubt that for a second. I didn't regret $60. I got about $55 out of it, but that's because, hey, I skipped side quests and bounty hunts, but I'm going to go back and do that. But I don't know how to feel about the game, honestly, because it's just like, if you technically know what's going to happen, what's the point of playing through it, unless you want the true experience yourself? So DLC I'm excited for, but I don't think I'm going to add too much stuff new to it. But anyways, main thoughts on the game. The music was fantastic. The battle theme was a little grating after, you've leveled up to 50 and you're going through and plowing through stuff and you're not really giving a crap about certain things. I like the little throwback they did where you go into a shop and buy the CDs of, like, albums of the original Final Fantasy games. I listened to that a fair amount too. Like, I even paused the game so I could just listen to, like, Dancing Mad from Final Fantasy VI. I don't know, because I really wish I had someone on Skype to talk about this with me so I wasn't just completely blowing stuff out of my mouth. But yeah, I want to see more stuff. I'm gonna play through it again, obviously, but I just don't know how to feel about the entire game. Like, it was very well polished. Gameplay wise, fantastic. Story wise, it was okay at the beginning, and then it kind of just went to stupid. Not like stupid awesome, more like stupid as in, oh Jesus, what, how do they, what? And you know what? Hey, it's still worth the $70. I would pay for it again if I was to buy it on a new console. But, it wasn't my favorite Final Fantasy. That still goes to 3. And it's definitely not my favorite action RPG. That action RPG goes to Xenoblade. I don't care what people are going to say. 15 was so much better. I just personally like Xenoblade a lot more. My personal opinions. Cause see, this is the problem I run into. I'm like, hey, I should do a review right after beating the game. It's 10 p.m. I'm barely awake. And also, Yeah, it's definitely not the most emotional Final Fantasy game because the most emotional game probably goes to 8. And this is going to go into another rant, so just sit down and get ready for the long haul at this point. Um, the most emotional game was definitely 8. 9 was emotional, but 8 did something that I was really proud of, and I'm surprised it got tears out of me. Even playing 8 halfway asleep, like I played 8 all the way through on one weekend because I'm like, I've never finished 8. Let's finish it. And from where I was in like disc 3. I was close to the end, so I did all that, and yeah, I cried. I cried because Renoa and Squall and certain things and other things and uh what Laguna and what's her face. Yeah, that was more emotional. Just saying that as a thing of personal experience. Mostly because yes, I've had a lover technically do something to me. No, I'm not gonna. That's not here or there. I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, 15 wasn't too emotional. I feel like they just went a little more on the graphic side on that storyline. Because it's just like, oh, we could show death and whatnot properly. And it's like, yes, you can, but don't stray away from what people like. Is it a good jump in for the newcomers to the series? Yes, of course. I don't doubt that. Is it okay for the serious old fans? Eh. I'm an old fan of Final Fantasy at the age of 20, and I've played pretty much all the other Final Fantasy games. I still say 6 and 3 and 8 are the most emotional ones I've ever played, but that's just because how I played those games. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, 15's good. I'd buy it. Just how they promoted for being fans of the old and new. It's more for the new than the old, in my opinion. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I still love, like, Final Fantasy X2, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 12 even. And, you know, Enix, excited for the remake. That was a horrible sound to make. I'm never going to do that again. I'm so excited for the remake of 12, but that's not kind of until, like, next year, basically. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. Because it's definitely not a tearjerker. I didn't shed a tear for a single second of Final Fantasy 15. And I'm not saying 15 has to be, you know, lovey-dovey romance. Like, that's not what the Final Fantasy series games were to begin with. It was more of a sacrifice and what you're willing to accomplish for set sacrifice. Or what you're willing to accomplish, like, within sacrifices within yourself. Because, let's take Final Fantasy 6, for example. Like, sure, it wasn't too much sacrifice, as in the sense of an actual sacrifice, but it was more or less like, if people remember Final Fantasy 6, how you find Terra isn't human. She's half human, half Vesper. Like, that was kind of an emotional setting. It's like, sure, she doesn't know how to approach the other teammates, but, you know, eventually the other teammates come looking for her, and it's like, yo, like, we miss you. We're worried about you. It's great that you're looking after kids, but we should stop the evil where it lies. So yes, that was very emotional. Final Fantasy 3, find out Ignis and the princess and Princess Aria. Yeah, certain things about that character you won't remember too well because people who've never beat that game probably don't know that one. Basically, when you get into the outer world, you go into a sunken ship, and she's like, I'm trapped here. Or not trapped here, but I was never one to belong in this world, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's super emo, but it's not emo in the sense of, like, I'm going to kill myself. It's in the sense of, I'm part crystal. I'm going to help you. And in Final Fantasy, which one was I talking about? That was my other favorite. Oh yeah, 8 with Renoa and Squall. Squall was going through time compression at the end. He was freaking dying in the sense of living and dying at the same time. So yes, it was very emotional because, you know, by that point, Squall was like, Renoa, hold on to these rings. If I don't come back, you at least have the memory of me. But with time compression, technically that doesn't fly because she'll forget regardless because those events will never happen. So yes, 8 is very emotional. 9 is technically emotional, but I don't remember too much of 9, honestly. I haven't played that in forever. And the only reason I remember 3 and 6 so well is because I played those games a shit ton, or crap ton, whatever. it's 10 p.m. I'm allowed to play. I'm allowed to play the tire card. Yeah, and even 10 to a degree, because 10 was more of like, oh, I'm a dream, but I gotta help the people around me because they show me love and respect, and I gotta show them back. So yes, 10 was very stupid in a lot of places, but it was still a good game. And a game I platinumed. I don't want to talk about it, honestly. But yeah, I just don't know how to feel about 15 because the series had so much up to that point. So storytelling wise, not the greatest, but in every other sense of the word, fantastic. Would I say buy the game? Yes. And that's why pro Jared talk right now, because sorry, pro Jared, I don't really, I like your stuff, so that's why I'm taking off your stuff, and go give pro Jared a like. He's the Final Fantasy fan himself. That's why my final review of this game is a Chocobo out of 10. Yeah, they're cute and cuddly. That's all I gotta say, because I don't want to go into full review mode. I'll do a proper review of stuff later, because I'm tired. Well, I think about half hour of talking to you guys. That's not half hour, that's 16 minutes. I think that's enough for tonight. I can't wait to see you guys on stream, because I'll probably be streaming more Final Fantasy 15 or God Eater. And if I'm not streaming one of those two games, it's going to be something spectacular, because we all know me. My toes are cold. That's a great way to end the video. My toes are really cold. I'm going to go inside. See you guys later.